Welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial is going to look at how we can use a path. Now, a path is something we haven't looked at yet, but it's the idea of how you can set an object in motion to actually follow a path. So the first thing that we need to do is give ourselves a new sprite. I'm using one of the other tutorials, but we need to load ourselves a sprite. Now we're going to grab a monster, maybe this ghost here. I'm going to call him sprite ghost. And then we're just going to tick OK. And so now we've got ourselves a sprite ghost. We need to turn this into an object. So we obviously go up, add an object based on that sprite ghost. And we tick OK. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add a path. Now the different ways you can add a path is by clicking on this icon here, or you can right click and insert a path down here. So I'm just going to delete that one that I had. We're going to start a new one. So you click on add a path and it gives us what it looks like. Something very similar to our room setup. But what it is, we're able to draw a path and then get an object to follow that path. So what we do is, as you can see, wherever I click a point, it tells me the x coordinates and the y coordinates of that point. The next thing we can do, as you can see as I click around, make a certain path that an object follows. Now there's a few different things we can do, a few variables that we can change. As you can see down, the connection is straight line. So if I had a monster that was following this path, and I obviously had to jump through as a platform game, jump over and not let it hit me, you could have straight lines or you could have smooth curves. And you can see how then we're able to edit those spots. We can see that and we can use these as anchor points. So if you didn't want a straight line curve, we can move it around. And so you simply just click on the anchor points and make your shape. As well as that, you can have it closed or unclosed. So you can see this is where we've started and our path has come around to here. Now if we close that, that simply means that our path is obviously now on a loop and the object will just keep following that path. Now you can come up with whatever names you need for your path, but this one's just for path monster. And so we click the tick and we've got ourselves our first path. We then need to open up our object ghost. And you see there's a bunch of options here under the move about the path. We can set the position on the path, we can end the path, but we want to set a path for an instance. And so next of all, what we need to do is open up our object ghost, add an event, a create event in which it follows the path. So we drag the path action across. The path we want to follow is the one we set up for path monster. Say a speed of 5, quicken it up a bit. Then at the end we want it to continue from start and we leave that as relative. Then all we need to do is click OK. In our room we're going to place our ghost. And so the idea of this room is you want to collect all the diamonds but not get hit by the ghost. We haven't set up a collision with the ghost, so nothing's going to happen if it touches you, but you'll see the idea. Then all we have to do is click play and see if it works. And as you can see, we've got the ghost moving along the path. It's just frozen for a second. And my objective is to collect all the diamonds without getting hit by the ghost. Now if the ghost hits me there, we haven't set up anything to happen if we collide with it. But that's the idea, that you can make enemies move along a path and you have to collect certain things, and you could put another ghost that was looping around that one. So that's it for this tutorial, so save your work and keep on going.